So Nightmare Nights is happening as of recording.
Yes.
Yes. By the time you hear this, it'll be over. It'll be the last one, apparently.
It'll be super over.
Super over. Yes, unfortunately, we didn't get to go to any of those.
This didn't happen.
Yeah.
Such is life.
Apparently, as of recording, things are happening, and apparently Charity Auctions is going pretty well.
Yeah. The charity auction's over, apparently, now.
Yeah. Lots of money has been raised,
Lots of money
so far. So, good on them.
Loads of money.
Cash money. Yeah. What else happened this week?
You got more anime.
I got more anime stuff.
I'm not a weeb.
It's becoming a thing.
He's doomed and he doesn't know it.
Oh, I already know it. I'm just trying to deny it. Let me deny it for a little while longer.
No.
Until the next one shows up.
No.
Anyway, we're not here to talk about anime. We're going to talk more about ponies.
Chinese horse cartoons.
Yes. Anyway, let's get to this. Yes, welcome to Pony 411. This is episode 203 for the week of October 29th. I am Alca7raz, and with me is Nemesis.
Hey!
Yes, spooky times are almost here.
Yes, actually, we'll be here by
the time you hear this.
Actually, it's October, so it's always spooky time.
Yeah, it is always spooky times.
Spoopy times.
Episode 203.
Oh no.
Still can't believe we're over 200.
Crazy.
Crazy. Anyway, we got our normal load of things to talk about. Bunch of news. Couple things got a comic to talk about,
Finally.
along with our standard episode. We're going to talk about the finale. Yes, season 7 is ending. Has ended.
Ended?
Yes.
Yes, ended.
Ended. And we do got some fan content afterwards to talk about as well. So, let's just jump into the news like we always do. If you'd like to follow along, and I recommend you do, you can find our show notes at pony411.libsyn.com/shownotes. Remember, that's spelled Libsyn. So go there, click the link for this episode, and let's get to this. In convention news, Everfree Northwest has announced Bill Newton and Chris Britton. We know Bill Newton, but Chris Britton is the voice of Starswirl the Bearded. Minor spoiler. So yes, it'll be cool seeing them there. Also with Ashley being there earlier, so we'll have Bright Mac and Applejack at the convention together.
They gotta get Peter New and Felicia Day and
if they can get Felicia
Michelle
Day.
Krieber and Tabitha St. Germain.
Getting Tabitha wouldn't be too big.
Oh no.
Getting Michelle wouldn't be too big either. She tends to show up at those. Getting Felicia Day though? Ooh.
She's not that big of a name. She's
not a small name either.
No.
Yeah, that would be really cool, though. Anyway, into fandom news. An RPG Maker game based on the old Silent Ponyville fic has been released, just in time for spooky October.
Yep.
Halloween. So, yes, if you're interested, go check that out. It's RPG Maker, so it's a top-down RPG.
There was a hole here. It's gone now.
And speaking of spooky games, Fall of Anterfold Chronicles has been released. It's an add-on to Fall of Anterfold. Chronicles.
That's a generic subtitle.
Yes.
Might as well call it Chronicles Origins. Mystery of
Combat Evolved.
That's unique because they're the only ones who did that. Let's be honest.
Yes, but it was still kind of sucked.
Yeah, well, it sucked, but they're the only ones. It's not generic then.
Still sounds generic.
Oh, Guardians.
Guardians, yeah, that's another one. Legends of Equestria have released an update including some improvements and additions like a Bat Pony costume. So you can be a Bat Pony, except not really.
Except that part might be over by the time you hear this.
Yeah, it could be. I don't know if it's a limited time or...
It is limited time, I just don't know when it ends.
Don't know how limited.
They confirmed it is only for a limited time.
Yeah, well, the improvements aren't limited.
Yeah. Or are they?
That would just be stupid. stupid. That would be like having loot boxes with limited time emotes that go away, temporary emotes. That would be just, who in their right mind would do that? Oh wait, Twitch did. Seriously. God, I hate the loot box crap. Anyway, merchandise news.
What about loot barrels? It just came to me. It was too perfect.
Anyway, merchandise news. Hasbro had their third quarter investor call, and Pony is apparently still doing good.
Gasp.
Yes. So,
I guess
good.
we'd have bought their toys.
We did buy their toys, yes.
Yep.
The Fluttershy and Rarity Shining Friends figures have listings now on Taobao. So the rest of them were up, so now we see these ones as well. These are the ones that will light up if you hoof bump them, and they have buttons on their butts.
Touch the butt.
He touched the butt.
Apparently, I saw someone somewhere claiming they already saw Rarity in stores as well.
Maybe.
When they were talking to MLP merch on Twitter.
Interesting. They were also saying it's kind of interesting because the images on Taobao were full in packaging, and they usually see those loose on Taobao, not in packaging. So who knows? They might be in stores or showing up. Images of the Wave 24 blind bags are up. So yes, movie-themed-esque ones. At least the packaging has movie markings on it.
Yeah, because everything has movie branding right now.
Yeah, even if it has nothing to do with the movie. But yeah, this has got some new characters and some new...
Get some spoiled milk.
Stuff. Yes, spoiled milk and Diamond Tiara.
Yes, although Diamond Tiara's been in several blind bag waves now.
Yes, but now we have like Raven Inkwell.
Yeah,
we got Trouble Shoes.
Woo!
We also have Zecora, who needs more stripes.
Yeah, this is not a good Zecora. There are other Zecoras which are better at this scale.
Yeah.
Womp womp.
Womp womp. And Fleur-de-Lis looks like Twilight.
Hey, look, an improvement.
Wow. Wow. The Gameloft game has been updated for Halloween, including some pirate ponies from the movie.
Pirate ponies.
Because apparently that's Halloween.
They also added some stuff for, they are costumes.
They are costumes, but I guess it works.
It also ties into the movie.
Yes.
Win-win.
Yay.
Also, they did also add some stuff for the movie, like extra stuff from what happened in the movie that we didn't see, though.
The Twilight Sparkle Science Fair Sparks book now has a cover.
Yep.
It's in the same style as the Rainbow Dash book that just recently got a cover too. Or came out.
Twilight.
Yep. Obviously, it's based on the book. Into comic news, a preview for Friendship is Magic issue number 60 is up on iTunes, as per usual. In Equestria Girls news, Nick Confaloni is the story editor for the Choose Your Own Adventure Equestria Girls series that is coming up.
Woo.
Apparently he's did the editing for it.
You died.
You were eaten by a grue.
Go back a page.
Did they really do Yeah, there was a couple of those books that had go back a page. Not very often, because it kind of broke the story going back a page.
There was one I actually found that said, if you don't like this ending, please turn to page blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
That's never happened before.
Yeah, usually you don't get those.
The problem with those Choose Adventure, I always hit my finger at the page where I made a choice and then read it, and if I didn't like it, go back like, real quick.
If you didn't like the choice, like, that's not what I wanted. Let's choose something else. Yeah. And it looks like they have some new songwriters for the Equestria Girls shorts. Daniel Ingram did one of them.
He did one.
But the rest of them are by other people.
Yes.
Don't know who, but other people.
Yeah. And this is not Daniel Ingram has left the Equestria Girls franchise like Equestria Daily erroneously reported.
Yeah, it's just he's busy doing other things.
Yeah, he didn't do all the music, and there's a good chance that he won't be doing all the music for Equestria Girls in the future. Yeah, because he has been pretty busy the last few years.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like he has infinite time, so it's not like he's abandoning Equestria Girls. He's just focusing on other things at the moment.
Woo!
Put your pitchforks down. The Leaping Off the Page short is now up on YouTube. A behind-the-scenes video for Flurry Heart's scrapbook series is up on Hasbro's site. So if you want some insight on the creation of that little series, go check it out. It's got insights from people. And apparently, a line dropped during that previously mentioned investors call hinted at there being another movie coming up in the future.
Maybe.
Here, the line in particular is, The model for My Little Pony has really worked, and I think the team is beginning to think about what a next movie will look like. So there's no confirmation that there will be one, but it's,
it's a possibility.
It's considered, which, I mean, is an expected thing. You'd always consider, well, if it does good, we might do another one. Doesn't mean they are. But hey, it could happen. And the second half of Season 7 should be hitting Netflix on November 27th. So
should be.
In a month. Yeah, in
should
case someone screwed up again. And according to the voice actor, we should be getting more Tyrek in Season 8.
Yes.
Although one of the things that he dropped said in the something else, not Season 8. And then correct themselves later. Yes. So it'll be interesting. Tyrek coming back in Season 8.
By the way, spoilers.
Yeah, by the way. I mean, so far that's all we know. We know nothing else. Just the voice actor says they've done work for Season 8.
Yes.
As Tyrek. So that's all the detail we've got for you. And apparently Nicole DeBook and Josh Haber will be editing for Season 8.
Yeah.
They'll be editing
we
together.
We kind of already knew that, but this is confirmation from Nicole herself.
Yep. So there you have it. That's the news.
She needs to keep him in line.
Anyway, the comic.
Yeah. Legends of Magic number 7. We were supposed to do this last week, but I don't know what happened, really. It just kind of sat for a week for no apparent reason in a warehouse in Sumner.
Although considering it might be better for us to talk about
a little
bit.
But anyway, it's written by Jeremy Whitley, art by Tony Fleeks, and colors by Heather Beckel.
That's been coming.
Yes. In which, well, Sunburst, hey, look, new book from someone. Someone who appeared before in the comics. From S. But anyway, he finds out some stuff about, hey, what's this? The 7th pony. Who's not a hero, but he knows about the heroes, and his town is in trouble from the Sirens.
Ooh.
Yeah, so he has to go get help. And yeah, that's more or less it.
Yep.
I don't want to go too far into it, but yes.
Because it's multiple levels of spoilers.
Yeah, it's kind of that weird thing. Yeah, but the Sirens are there, and he needs the help, and he goes go find it.
Sirens.
Yep, Sirens.
It's not the first time that the Sirens have shown up in the comic series.
No, the last time, though, was kind of crap.
Yeah. It was kind of a backstory into the history of the Sirens.
Yeah.
This one's still sort of history of the Sirens, too.
Spoiler alert, is no longer relevant.
Well, this particular comic is very relevant.
Oh, yes. Very
relevant.
Directly relevant. We'll get to that in a little bit.
Yes, we shall.
But it's actually pretty good.
Yeah, I thought it was decent.
I mean, it's obvious it's setting up for another part because there is a to be continued type thing at the end. So it's kind of interesting and kind of sets up a character we haven't seen yet or been heard of yet. Right?
Right.
And it's kind of a nice setup. I think this is one of those where it's really going to be dependent on how the payoff is.
Yeah.
It's heavily dependent on that. If the payoff sucks, this kind of retroactively makes this one not great, and vice versa, and or other way around, where it's a good payoff, and then this makes it good. It's a good setup so far. We got the Sirens back and everything, so let's see.
We shall.
I can't make a definitive recommendation until we see issue 8.
Shall see, because that's where the Sirens came from, right?
Right.
The sea.
Right. Sure.
Hush. I tried.
Yeah, you tried.
Oh my God, do I try?
But yeah, I mean, it's already kind of ties into the finale anyway. So there's that.
Yeah, there's that. Speaking of finale, let's talk about that. So yes, the episode we are actually going to talk about is called Shadow Play. Alright, so attempted non-rambly quick synopsis. We'll see how well this goes.
Already doomed.
Yep. Anyway, Sunburst finds Starswirl's journal. In it, it talks about, well, Starswirl and the Pillars of Equestria, that we know them as the Legends of Magic. And it talks about them, and it goes on later to talk about the Pony of Shadows, the story of that. It leads them to, what happened. Apparently, they banished the Pony of Shadows at a place called Ponyhenge, but that's where they all disappeared to because they banished, well, all of them, not just the pony. So Twilight figures out how to release them, and, well, they end up going and finding the pillars' objects, their own little things, and end up releasing the pillars and the Pony of Shadows.
That's bad.
So then Twilight figures out how to create a new portal spell because the Pony Henge got destroyed, and they need to figure out new ones, and they figure out how to do that using the elements of harmony. So then they go and find Stygian, they get the elements of harmony before that too, and then when they go and try to banish them, Twilight ends up redeeming Stygian instead of just banishing everyone.
Hooray.
Yep, that's basically it. It's a lot of subtle details removed.
Yeah, that's how we do it.
Yep. So, this was definitely an interesting one. Overall, I think I enjoyed it. There's a couple points here and there that we'll probably get into. But overall, I think it was a pretty good finale.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Not the best finale, but
that's still
definitely not the worst
4's
finale. Yeah, I mean, it's really hard to top that. The deep Dragon Ball Z-esque stuff. Yeah, we didn't quite have that level of things going on, but this was pretty good. What did you think of it?
Well, yeah, it was enjoyable.
Quick overview.
It was pretty enjoyable. There's several points I kind of have a issue with in some way or another. I think the second half kind of started to falter a bit.
The second half, I think, was a lot more dense in concepts. The first half was really a setup.
I think the problem is the second half just kind of started to drag a little bit. The first half was great just because of the whole, quests and stuff they were doing and stuff that helped a lot with the pacing, whereas the second half kind of started to drag down a bit until it kind of started going up faster again with the end.
A bit. I wouldn't quite say it dragged on. I didn't feel like it was quite that bad. Yeah, so there's a few things of great importance. I think, where should we start with first? The pillars?
Sure.
I will start with the pillars. So we are introduced sort of to what they call the pillars of Equestria, and I've already forgotten what they were, because they each gave them names.
Strength, hope, bravery,
healing. That's 4.
I'm trying to think. Yeah.
You had Rockhoof was strength. Meadowbrook was beauty.
Beauty. That's what it was. And then sorcery.
Yeah, and Starswirl was sorcery.
Those are the 6.
Flash Magnets was
bravery.
And yeah. So we have these 6 pillars of Equestria with each of their own aspects, personality or whatnot. Not really personality aspects in this case. It's like, that seems familiar.
Oh, duh.
Yes. So it's a bit interesting. These are the precursors to the elements of harmony, and it turns out later they're the ones who made the elements of harmony, sort of.
Yeah.
They planted the tree of harmony.
That's also kind of one of my little issues comes in.
Yeah, it's kind of a... Yeah.
This is one of those times where Haber does the thing of let's add lore, but let's kind of screw up other lore at the same time.
It's kind of... Yeah.
Also, I'll be honest, in some ways, I kind of feel this revelation about how the Tree of Harmony exists in the first place is kind of weak.
I'm not entirely certain how I feel about it yet. It is a weird place for me because it kind of seems like the Tree of Harmony, the elements of harmony, were built up as these super powerful, more powerful than
anything else,
are almost godlike rulers.
Yeah.
The most powerful things in all of Equestria. It seems like, we're talking ancient magic of Equestria itself level.
An unknown thing.
Yeah, like above everything else, but then we find it was actually
just 6
made
ponies.
by 6 normal ponies.
Normal sort of.
That kind of reduces how powerful they seem like they should be, in a way. It's like...
It kind of removes a lot of the mythical status they've obtained.
Yeah. It makes it seem like they're more powerful than they should be now.
Mm-hmm.
Like they shouldn't have that level. It's kind of weird.
It kind of undermines the mystique of the elements.
It does undermine that too.
I think I would have almost preferred just for them just to always remain just kind of a nebulous, mysterious.
It makes this other weird problem too. The pillars have 6 important objects to them.
Mm-hmm.
that have power,
Yeah.
but they shouldn't have power. Where'd they get their power from?
It's weird. Yeah,
At least
kind
the
of an odd
elements
thing.
of at least the elements of harmony were magical creations to begin with.
Those 6 things were
magical elements to start with. These ones, a shovel, a flower.
Yeah,
I think the shield had something somewhat special to it to begin with.
it was already special in the beginning, in the first place.
But the other ones weren't. A book.
Yeah.
Starswirl's book.
Yeah.
And it's like, you would have to make Starswirl almost godlike powerful, which he's not.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's
he's
also
powerful,
another weird thing,
but
too.
it's not. He's not. So it's like, this is weird. Unless he
I mean, you
infused
could
power
try to
stone.
weasel you away with the kind of, they chanted the items or something. But
Yeah, I mean, that's the only thing. That's the only way I can think of is
the
maybe
only reason they possibly have the power they do is just because of the crystals they planted plus the residue from the massive banishing spell and everything. Just kind of.
Well, one thing, Ponyhenge.
Yeah,
Maybe Ponyhenge is this ancient magic that was infused into those items
that would be it
that they were able to use.
But yeah, at this point, you're kind of weaseling, kind of get around
It is a bit of a weasel, but it's less of weasel than I've seen used in the show
Yeah.
before because, I mean, we saw Ponyhenge and we know Ponyhenge was powerful and Ponyhenge was a source of power for the spell,
which of
the
course obviously
banishment
based
spell.
off a lot of the stuff around Stonehenge.
So,
Because there's a whole all those
obviously.
theories about Stonehenge and
yeah,
stuff.
it was like, yeah. So, I mean, that's the only way I can really see doing it with it still being somewhat acceptable is that they didn't have power until they used them in Ponyhenge, and that infused them with the power. Or maybe he used the power of Ponyhenge to infuse them so they could use them later.
Right.
The only way I can think of it. It's weird. It doesn't explain where the seed came from. They've never explained where the seed came from. They said, we planted a seed.
Where did it
Okay.
come from? Why do you have it in the first place?
I think it's like a subtle, not really explanation. They planted the seed to provide the power to save Equestria since they knew they were going to be gone.
Yeah, it's weird.
They knew that they were going to disappear.
It still doesn't say where the seeds came from.
But it
and how
doesn't
they
say
made
where.
them.
It says why they planted it, but not where it came from.
Hows and
Yeah, it's just like
you opened a
you've
door
eliminated
which you
the
probably shouldn't have opened.
Yeah, you eliminated the mystical ancient aspect of the elements of harmony, but you didn't replace it with something very good.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of a nitpick here. It's not a major issue with the episode, but it's like an extended lore problem that it opened up.
Yeah, and like, Haber's good at that. By the way, yeah, Haber and Dubuc.
Yes, this was a
video.
Haber de book.
Although Dubuc was not properly credited in the episode, I noticed.
Interesting.
It just said Haber.
Yeah,
So
it
it's
did just say Haber.
Oops.
Oopsie daisies.
Hope that's fixed later.
Yeah.
What else was there but something about the pillars? I'm trying to remember what it was. Oh,
There was one thing in the very beginning when we first saw talking about the pillars. We had sort of a storybook introduction, which is kind of neat as a callback to the series opener.
yeah.
It was kind of cool seeing that kind of style again. But it was interesting. On the scene where it talked about the pillars, it showed a tree with 7 gems on it.
Which is interesting because, well, at this point, the writers seem to be rolling with the fact there is a 7th element. Multiple times. At first, it was kind of a theoretical thing. Now Sunset is the 7th element. So it was
people keep talking about Sunset being the 7th element and the element of empathy, and that's been talked about by the show staff.
Yeah, so that's kind of like...
So it's like, this is like all but canon. It's not canon until we actually see it in an episode.
At this
but
point, it's C-canon.
Yeah, it's
C-canon.
C-canon. B-canon is the stuff that's in the licensed works.
Yeah, so it's canon until proven otherwise still, I guess.
Yeah. Or the other is if one of the show staffs literally just says a statement, this is it.
Yeah.
That becomes a canon.
But they
haven't said this is it. If this were to happen, I think this is how we would do it. That's C canon.
Well, at this point, they have said, it's not outright said, Sunset is the 7th element. They've outright said it's no longer, they stopped talking in theoreticals and maybes, it's now is. Which is kind of interesting in itself. Because, well, I would hope this would lead to things in the future.
Yeah.
So there's that. I'd really like that for that, because they've teased it before, and for them to finally follow through would be great. Especially since the other thing that happened regarding Quester Girls in this episode, the Sirens were there.
Right, that is another thing. We should probably talk about that one. it literally showed the Sirens.
Yeah.
As we know them from Equestria
Yellow,
Girls.
purple, blue.
Yes. It was Sonata, Aria, and Adagio.
And in the script, it outright says the Sirens from Rainbow Rocks.
Yes.
We know this thanks to leaks.
These are now shown in the show. Equestria Girls is 100% undeniably canon. You cannot deny this.
Yeah.
It's there.
Even though they already said before it's canon.
Yeah, now
this is just your reminder.
Yeah.
It is canon. At this point, anyone who's trying to deny it's canon is at this point is grasping at straws. And it's particularly, I've noticed one person was trying, or some people are really trying to go basically a single line from an old episode. No, it's not canon because this one line. It's like, well, there's this entire extended scene with the Sirens, which also, if the Sirens are canon, that means Sunset is indeed canon as well. So eat it.
Yeah, I'm trying to find the picture of the tree because it had colors.
Yeah, good luck.
There's a scene right before.
Yeah, it's fine. It's great. I'm actually pretty happy about that. The Sirens are there because it directly ties into Rainbow Rocks as well, which is really nice because it's the showing them their banishment to the human world, which again is like, yeah, it kind of shows Starswirl doesn't really care that much about others to the like, oh yeah, it's another world now. It's not my problem anymore. It's not our problem anymore because that's the whole thing. Use the human world as its trash can. And speaking of Starswirl, he's
Starswirl is a jerk.
He's an awful person.
Oh my god, that was the thing when I first started hearing Starswirl. And they're going to bring Starswirl back. I'm still going. He's got to be a jerk.
Yeah,
he has to be a jerk. He's got to be a jerk. And I was so happy that he was an actual jerk. He was a big freaking jerk.
Well, I think towards the second, and again, they kind of started going a little overboard at some points.
God, he was I used something else. Yeah. I used another word, but
he was awful to the others. And it's like, I'm surprised. It's like, how did you wind up being a pillar of Equestria?
His pillar was sorcery.
I know.
Nothing else.
Should have been Clover the Clever then. Yeah,
that would have been interesting.
Because Clover actually sounds like a nice, level-headed person based off what we've been told.
Yes, and now we're saying Starswirl's a jerk. Oh my god, he's a jerk. He's really self-absorbed too. You look at you.
I want that. I want a bit at the end. I want a bit about Clover later on. It's like the guy kind of getting drunk. Starswirl, let me tell you about Starswirl.
God, Starswirl. He's
awful.
He is awful. He needed to be though.
In anything, if you think about it, secretly he's the antagonist.
Yeah, really, he is.
Pony of Shadow is just kind of sort of an innocent victim.
Do we want to explain Stygian
a little bit?
Okay,
yeah, we have to.
Pony of Shadows started out as Stygian. Stygian was basically the logistics person for the Pillars of Equestria. They're all the minions, and he was, well, not really humdrum. He wasn't a sidekick. He was the one who, like he said, he found things and he strategized and he came up with the ideas and basically
So he was the one at their side to kick him into shape.
Not really, but yeah, he was the one who handled all the logistics and reading and stuff for the Pillars,
which is interesting because of that comic where they first met because of the Siren incident.
Yes,
would imply, but the way the show frames it is that the Siren incident was kind of the latest exploit.
Yes,
so it's kind of weird because so it's like, okay, you're gonna have to.
That was a little muddy
unless issue 8 of the comic shows otherwise.
Yeah, we'll see. It's a little muddy, but whatever. That's a minor detail. Yeah, so Stygian wanted more respect because they just kind of blew him off. Which,
no respect.
Now that we see what Starswirl's like, it really seems believable.
Yeah. You got Starswirl, and then you got the other 5.
Yeah, it's like, I'm pretty sure the other 5 would have respected him if it wasn't for Starswirl.
Yeah, Starswirl's like, no, shut up.
Starswirl is just the leader, and they all followed Starswirl, and Starswirl's a jerk.
Yeah.
So they just kind of didn't think about it or whatnot. I don't know. Either way, he just got kind of jealous, tried making copies. This is an interesting. Tried making copies. Yeah, this actually puts a hole in my earlier theory with the Ponyhenge thing and the
because
they
had the powers.
Because they had powers before the banishment.
Yeah. But again, we saw that he was putting them on Ponyhenge when he was trying to copy them.
Yes, but he was trying to copy them, which means they would have had to have powers beforehand. Or
I mean, the shield I get, but everything else is kind of
doesn't make any
sort
sense.
Of maybe the shovel, just because
maybe. I mean,
the Legend of Rockhoof's like that was shovel allowed him to actually dig the trench that made the lava.
Yeah.
Although that was one of those, it just happened. He was some scrawny dude, and then he wasn't.
Yeah, that was weird.
That was an odd one. It's just, I think that's of all of them, that's kind of the weakest one. Just kind of, he's strong now. Shut up.
I don't know. Somnambula's headband.
Yeah, that's an odd one too. It's weirdly weird.
It is really weird. It's just like, why are these?
This is why I'm kind of not super happy with the revelation regarding the elements of harmony.
I mean, seriously, if you would have, the way they could have done it better is that they could have explained these items, that each of these pillars found items that were important to them. They found special items that had magical ability. Then there'd be no problem. You'd still have a mystical element.
Yeah.
It's that they had found these mystical element power things, these items that were imbued with powers, and they used them, and that was part of their thing. And then that allowed them to plant the Tree of Harmony, imbuing the seed with the powers. Yeah. And then that would have been, okay, this worked, but they didn't.
Yeah. Getting back to Stygian, though, we got way off track.
Yes, getting back to Stygian, he wanted to be part of things.
Yeah.
He just wanted to be part of things, and he thought if he made a copy of them, he could have some power himself to help out.
Yeah.
And it was going to give them back after he made a copy, because they're a copy.
They caught him, and
but they misinterpreted it.
Probably should have asked, just to be honest.
Yeah.
That was a hit. I mean, that wasn't terrible per se, but he probably should have at least said,
You should have asked. I think it was one of those, he was already at a point. It's probably not just the first thing he did. He probably been trying to get their attention and wasn't getting their attention, was getting constantly blown off, and went, fine, I'll get their attention somehow. And probably thought that if he asked, they would have just said no. So he probably went the better to ask for forgiveness than permission.
Well, he asked, they say no, and then he does it. That goes through his original plan, which is take them.
He may have asked and they said no. That may have been exactly what happened. Either way, they thought he was stealing them and trying to gain more power, and
they told him away.
Tossed him to the wayside.
And then he found some corrupting elements.
And he found the darkness.
That wizard came from the moon.
God, why did you have to remind me of that?
Because it had to happen. The darkness. Have to fight the darkness.
Oh God. I had stricken that from my memory and replaced it just with the Summoner Geeks video. I'm attacking the darkness.
Yes.
But yeah. And he became the Pony of Shadows. He became corrupted by the nightmare, basically.
I think.
This is a bit interesting.
This is another one where it's kind of weird because it's also, I saw stuff on Twitter which implied they seem to treat this as the same character that showed up in Castlevania, and yet
the
Pony of Shadows has been banished for over 1,000 years.
Yeah, that is a bit odd. Unless it's like a remnant piece of the shadow or the nightmare. I mean, it's kind of interesting. We have this nightmare, darkness, shadowy corruption thing that takes over ponies. Where have we seen this before?
Yeah.
We've seen this twice before.
Yeah.
Once in the comics.
Yeah.
That took over Rarity, and once was Nightmare Moon.
Yeah.
Which the comic says is the same thing that took over Rarity. So it's like, is this like a confirmation of that? Is there like a nightmare element type creature thing that corrupts?
Yeah.
I'd be okay with it. I've seen this trope before where it's
basically Venom.
Evil, sort of. It's like the evil creature that wants to control and gain more power. It needs a host, but it can't affect a host unless the host, at least for one moment,
so it's basically
agrees.
Venom.
Yeah. You have to agree to its help initially. And once it takes over, then it has control. Even if you want to give it away, you can't. And
obviously that means
trope.
The way to defeat the Pony of Shadows is lots of loud noises.
Yes, you have to get a giant bell.
Or any loud noise, really.
Yeah.
Air horns, loud bells, sirens, whatever.
Sirens.
Rarity screaming. Pinkie Pie's megaphone.
Yes.
A sonic rain boom.
Yeah, it's one big sonic rainbow. Anyway, they use a big rainbow laser instead.
Yeah.
So that was a bit interesting. And I like that. I'm going to headcanon that personally until seen otherwise. I could see this getting cannon fodder easily, but until then, I'll hold it. I like it. It could explain the Pony of Shadows. Maybe it's just something that's, it wasn't completely banished.
Yeah, or it's just a piece of possibly more.
Yeah, it's...
There's more out there somewhere.
Yeah, it's not one creature. It's a conglomeration of multiple that form
Just
into
like
one.
Venom.
Yeah, it works. I like it.
Yeah. One thing I did like was the quest scenes, although I wish they were a little longer.
Rainbows was longer.
I know, but I wish a lot of them were longer because kind of particularly like Pinkies, they're just bloop, they're done.
Yep.
They're just kidding. Then the stuff that's kind of on it. I'm noticing that tends to be the more most people kind of that's the more interesting part of the episode was that.
Yeah, finding
stuff.
these things.
I kind of wish that. Yeah, I guess it was quest. And the big thing I've noticed is people like the quest stuff. Wish it was longer, and wish the stuff where it's just sitting around in a library was shorter.
Yeah, there was a lot of exposition that probably could have been shortened down or removed.
I do like Twilight's big thing. It's like it could take us months,
years to figure it out. Open the door. I figured it out.
It's like one night. Yep, that's Twilight.
Yep, that's Twilight. Twilight had a lot of great scenes. Yeah, right in the beginning, there was a lot of adorkable stuff.
Yeah,
jumping up and grabbing the book with a smile. Yeah. That was great.
Yes, and the dioramas. Don't worry, I made more.
I made more.
Yeah, just quest stuff. I kind of wish there was more of, just because it kind of felt like really, really trimmed down.
Yeah, I would have liked to see more of that.
Like Applejack and Dash both got fairly more extensive ones per se, but
they did.
Even then, it was just kind of Dash was the only one who really went through anything really difficult.
Yeah. Although, quick seg, we'll come back. Applejack's. We had an Indiana Jones pony, an actual Indiana Jones pony.
He was an archaeologist.
Yep.
Makes sense.
Some people were upset because why didn't you just use Daring Do?
Because she has to use it with Pinky.
Yeah, so that is a very good excuse.
She's just Pinky.
It was somewhere else.
And also that reminds me, Somnambula finally has a voice.
Finally has a voice.
Very thick accent.
Very thick accent.
Which works.
Which is, makes sense.
And also Raku also finally had a voice too.
Yep.
It's a slight Scottish tinge there.
Yes.
Makes sense there too.
Oh, interesting. It looks like although we didn't really get to see all that much of them, the personality of Somnambula in the show doesn't quite match what they showed in the comics. Oh well. Such is life.
Yeah.
C'est la vie.
It's also, the pillars again, it's just kind of like, you get the sense that the five of them actually bonded, whereas Starswirl just didn't.
Yeah, it's like the five of them were close friends, and they
mostly lines up with what they've established about Starswirl, which is, he didn't really understand friendship very well.
Yeah.
Although he kind of turned around pretty quickly once he realized it's like how bad he screwed up.
That is one thing I will say. Starswirl needed to be a jerk. He had to. Everything that had been established about Starswirl, he didn't understand friendship, and then everything else, he needed to be a jerk, and he was, and that was exactly what had to happen. He did realize his mistake when it was shown into him in the face.
Well, after it was shoved in his face several times.
Well, I mean, obviously shoved into his face when his biggest mistake was...
The biggest one finally.
Came right up
all of his other stuff,
it's
like every single time he was kind of contradicting. He's like, no, shut up, though.
Yeah.
No, shut up, I'm right.
Yeah, because he's very self-centered, very egotistical.
Yeah.
Almost narcissistic, I would say.
Yeah.
That's a tough one.
No one could possibly improve my spell.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I just did, though.
Yeah, I just did, though. I already did. I ascended to an Alicorn status, which you didn't do because I fixed your spell.
Yeah, and I've also had to clean up that whole siren thing. Thanks for that, by the way. I had to clean that up. I had to go to a different world. That was a fun time.
Yeah, it's very interesting, the border between narcissism and egotism.
Yeah.
A lot of people mix them up.
Also, Sunburst Cop stopped being relevant after like the first 5 minutes.
He did.
He was just kind of like, oh yeah, he's here, I guess.
He was kind of important because he got the book. He was the one who found the book.
So it's weird. Just like he was relevant for all 5 minutes. And okay, bye now, bye now, bye.
Yeah,
go away. Okay, yeah, you can
stand
around, but
he just helped with studying.
Yeah. Starlight.
You want to get into that yet? Because I think you and I are gonna have some slight disagreements on things. We've had that in the past when it comes to Starlight.
I largely feel like a large chunk of her role should have been taken by the rest of the main six and not her. The whole reminders of like, hey, we've been doing stuff and kind of, them, I'd like to see the main six. Well, they did it one scene, but like standing up for Twilight against Starswirl's jerk-ishness.
Yes.
And whatnot. I would have preferred them questioning stuff. Just because they've had multiple experiences rather than just one regarding reforming villains and whatnot.
Yeah.
I think it would have been stronger, but also really highlighted the whole theme of the episode regarding the pillars and the elements and stuff. The six of them specifically as a group. I think that would have worked far better thematically as a thing.
Yeah, I would have liked to see more of the 6 and the 6. See that kind of duality, the 6 pillars and the 6 elements, and more dealing with those two.
Well,
and yes,
even the part with
the 6 standing up for Twilight. I would have liked to see
5.
more. Yeah, the 5 standing up for Twilight.
I guess Spike makes it sick.
No.
Spike would have stand it. But also, I would like it if basically also the way to also help us learn about the pillars as personalities, which is the main 5 interacting with them more and also asking them about Stygian once they found out that sort of thing, rather than Starswirl or Starlight bursting. Oh boy, here we go. Yeah, Starlight bursting.
Oh god,
like,
we have so many.
So rather than Starlight bursting, who's Stygian? I would have had main 5 or remain 5 as people have been calling them, interacting with the old pillars and stuff and asking them, and then we get to learn more, their all that stuff.
Yes, I would have loved to see that.
I think that would have, again, preferred thematically, in my opinion. It would have worked better thematically with the whole central point of it, all of this.
Yes, and I do agree with you on that point. I think a few parts, most probably, at least half, if not a little more, than Starlight's points could have been done in different ways with the main 6, and I probably would have preferred that as well. There were a couple points where her presence and her experiences were necessary with how they set things up. It's interesting. We have the 6 and the 6, the 6 pillars and the 6 elements, but we also have a 7th person.
Yeah.
We have Stygian, who is in this case, direct parallel to Starlight. Sort of. I mean,
it's flimsy. It's a flimsy one.
It is a flimsy one, but it is what they intended. If you look at it, because obviously it was.
Yeah, it's because we
Starlight.
Intended. That was the intention that I would say.
Yeah,
it didn't quite work out.
It was the intention. It was there. And her experience as a villain was also important, which no one else had. To the whole, hey,
yeah,
we shouldn't do
no one
this.
else there present.
Villains can be redeemed.
Yeah.
I know this personally. She's the only one out of that who can do that.
Yeah.
None of the main 6, and nor even Sunburst could have been that point. So she was important with her experience.
Obviously, they'd gone with
there.
Luna.
What?
Obviously, should have gone with Luna. Oh, that would have been interesting to think about. Starswirl's like, once you're a villain, you can never return. That would have been more personal.
Yeah,
it's like
that
Luna.
would have been really
Luna's
cool
like,
if,
excuse me.
That would have been really cool if let's just eliminate Sunburst and Starlight entirely and replace them with Celestia and Luna equivalently. Have them directly work with Celestia and Luna.
That would have been so much better.
Oh, and the whole.
And then
man,
have
I just realized the whole scene where this would be easier, but Starswirl just has really bad horn writing. Celestia and Luna could have gone, well, we have some experience with this. We might be able to help. We used to have to read this stuff. Yeah, it sucks. I might be able to help you with this.
Yeah. And then Starswirl just offhandedly, just not knowing about Nightmare Moon or anything, just saying, once you're a villain, always a villain. Luna goes, excuse me?
Ahem.
Luna goes, excuse me?
Excuse me.
Well, that's...
Yeah, it is interesting. They didn't bring that up at all, even in this one. It's like, well... Starlight tried bringing up her experience, but none of the rest of them made the mention of, hey, Luna did, Discord did, sort of.
Yeah.
Sort of. Discord's a weird one. But it's like they mentioned, Dash mentioned, yeah, Pinky did too.
The world,
Pinky and Dash both mentioned, we've done this multiple times.
Like, I doubt you saved the world. Like,
yes.
It's one of those things to say, yeah, but we did, though.
It's one of those, we brought it up and then we forgot that we brought it up earlier.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting though at the very end because we're actually running pretty long now.
I knew we would. This is a long episode with so much going on.
One thing at the beginning was, or not beginning, at the very end with at the end when they're about to banish the Pony of Shadows and whatnot, and it's like, oh hey, there's actually a pony in there, and Twilight just jumps in.
Yes,
because it was interesting, just the whole fight of Twilight's mentor and someone she's idolized and having to kind of accept that, kind of coming to terms with the fact that her idol's a jerk.
Yeah, never meet your mentors.
Yeah,
never meet your idols.
Never meet your heroes.
Yeah, just it'll ruin them. Yeah, it was. I did like that, the whole setup where she's having to question, forcing the question.
I think at times, I think it was kind of was just too long with just going along with Starswirl and then all of a sudden turning around. I think it should have been a little better.
to see her more struggle with
gradual thing, rather her starting to actually outright talk back to Starswirl at some points.
Yeah. I think one of the biggest issues 2 episodes weren't enough.
Yeah.
This needed to be like a 3-parter.
Yeah.
You could have done an entire movie with this.
Then we could have eliminated Uncommon Bond. Hey!
Wow. Yeah. But yeah, that whole end thing. I did like, her final...
I've actually seen some people saying they like this story more than the movie story.
Ouch. I don't know. I think if this one was more fleshed out in full movie, it would have been
getting back to the Pony
comparable.
Shadows really quick at the very end. Yeah, Twilight just jumped right into this dark mass and then helped Stygian out and is like trying to talk to him and then pulling him out. It's like no. It's like Stygian's like, no, you can't help me. He's like, actually, yeah, I'm going to help you.
Yeah, I can.
I'm just going to grab you and we're out of here. We're getting out. We're getting out. And that whole thing. And also interesting was because the whole thing with Starlight's like, yeah, but you don't have to banish him. And it's kind of weird because the elements and / crystal tree / all that stuff is kind of seems to be kind of because of how nebulous it is kind of pointing to the idea of like, yeah, you gotta do something about this guy, because it's kind of a weird thing because it feels like the tree was pushing him into rebanishing him. So it's
interesting. The elements, I think,
because the elements have banished before, so it's not exactly out of the it's not exactly...
they banished Nightmare Moon. Yeah, they turned Discord into a stone instead of redeeming.
Yeah, that sort of thing. So it's not out... And Where's Rainbow Power? Where'd it go?
Yeah, Rainbow Power was weird. It came out of a chest that was gifted to him and then disappeared.
It's supposed to... The idea was supposed to be an improved elements, and then it's kind of gone.
They have the power without needing the actual elements.
Also, by the way, just for future reference, and hope this comes up later in the future, kind of the 7th element. It's like, yeah, it's 6 elements. You've seen them before. It's just see what happens. The actual 7th one is finally added, and you complete the set.
Yeah, it's a bit interesting.
It's like the Phantom.
I did find the picture.
Oh, good.
And it's actually someone made a comparison too. The image of the tree with the original tree talking about the pillars with the 7 things on it.
Mm.
All of the colors match the Elements of Harmony colors except for the 7th that we haven't seen, and it's green. We don't have a green one.
Yeah.
So
since its eyes are kind of green.
That's stretch.
Her magic used to be green.
It's kind of a sea green.
I know, but
this is like a very green one. So yeah. What's green?
Sunset's magic.
You don't have a heart. We could have a green heart. Heart for empathy.
Empathy. There you go.
Of course, I mean, we have an apple and a lightning bolt, so it would probably just be a green sun, which would look kind of weird. And we don't actually have a sun.
No, we don't.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so that's kind of thing. Overall, I think it was Haber's strongest finale.
Probably, yeah.
But, I still think there's a couple of finales I think are better than this one.
Yeah. I think like the season 4 finale I still think is probably my favorite. That's
still my favorite
finale.
Candlelight Wedding's also still up there.
Yeah, but I think this one has a lot more like lore.
It has lore, but again, the problem is some of that lore
isn't that great.
It also kind of breaks other lore a little bit. Especially, again, we didn't get to this, but Starswirl, the weird things like, wow, because there was a very short amount of turnaround between them making the tree. Because remember, the Celestial Moon were talking about the Tree of Harmony like it's some ancient thing. Even back when they first found it, they were talking about some ancient things. Like, turns out, maybe it's like maybe 20 years old or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they see that's one of those little Haber. Pay more attention when you do this stuff. You gotta actually make it all work, or else people are gonna point it out like us. Some jerks like us are gonna point out all these mistakes.
Yeah.
Anyway,
yeah.
We probably keep going, but we're running low on
I
time. We got more stuff to do.
But we do have some other stuff to talk about before.
Overall, it's a pretty good way to end the season.
Yeah, it was not a bad episode by any means. It was highly enjoyable, and we're probably going to be digging in this as a fandom for lore and quibbling over it for years. Probably this entire hiatus, we're just going to be struggling with the lore that we got out of this. I could see this going on for a while.
# bring back Sunset.
Yes.
Bring her home.
Figuring out what's going to happen here now that it's officially canon.
I'm going to say this right now. If they actually go ahead and try to make Starlight a 7th element, oh boy, they just open hell.
I've been seeing some people talk about... I heard someone say that it was like confirmed that she's going to be an Alicorn. I was like, I have not seen anything like that yet.
I think they're trolling.
Well, yeah, I don't. It was in talking to someone else about it.
It's probably one of those people trolling. There's a lot. Of
It didn't seem like a troll. I
around.
think it was more like a misinformed.
Yeah, a lot of people misinformed too.
But I don't know. It's like I have seen nothing like that.
Yeah. In fact, the only thing I've seen Miller outright saying she's not going to be an alicorn. So that's the only thing I've seen about that.
Jim Miller has also said that they won't do romance. And then they do romance. So don't believe their lies.
Anyway, we got to move on.
Yeah. Anyway, we could continue talking about that for a long time, but we do have some other things like we keep saying. We have fan content to talk about, so let's just jump into music. I've picked 2 songs this week to feature, and we will start out with General Mumble's Goodbye Holiday.
Saying goodbye to the holiday with my magic hour reset. The greatest gift that I give today, and every pony will have to face it.
General Mumble.
He's alive.
Yes, actually, General Mumble's doing a lot of stuff still, just not as much in the pony fandom. They have a ton of aliases that they use for different style of music. I would recommend checking out those ones anyway. But this particular one is a really creepy remix of Say Goodbye to the Holidays.
Yes.
It's really well done and definitely has the General Mumble sound to it. And if you listen to any of those other aliases that I've talked about, there's some like Rakira influence in here, which is one of General Mumble's aliases for one of their style. But yeah, really good, I think. It's a little bit odd that it's a Christmas song for Halloween, but it's creepy enough that it works.
I remember before Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's I love the intro in this one. It's also the electric organ. Electric organ.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and also nice work with the vocal distortion as well. It's really good.
Yep.
I just really like the intro though.
Yeah. The next one I have is Jikaro and Forever Free Bronies, Data. This is a very big orchestral type song. I love this one. It's about Sweetie Bot.
Makes sense.
Yeah, this isn't about Sweetie Bot. I love the instrumentals on this, the strings and the piano and the little rain effects and just how it gets big. And Forever Free Bronies' vocals again are amazing. He's really good at this, and it's got a really deep and emotional feel to it. When you listen to it, it's kind of sad. Listen to the lyrics, and yeah,
which is weird.
It's
because the actual music has kind of a more hopeful tone to it.
Sort of, yeah. But you listen to the lyrics, and it's
kind of like that 180 song. It's like, oh, happy and poppy, and it's about child abuse. Oh,
I wouldn't say it's happy. It's big.
I'm just saying it's like that sort of weird
kind of thing. Yeah,
I'm not saying happy. I'm just like that type 180 song where it's just like, oh, the music's super bouncy and happy, and it's like, then the lyrics are like,
it's raining again. You're thinking about it's raining again.
Probably.
That's it's raining again. It's a happy bouncy song. You listen to the lyrics and go, oh,
yeah. So yeah, you're saying this. The lyrics are super sad or whatever, but it's like if you listen just to the music, it sounds very hopeful and uplifting. So
it's kind of got that uplifting, that
dichotomy,
hopeful building sound, but it's not really happy either.
Yeah, I didn't say it was happy.
It's interesting, but yeah, it's really good.
Yeah.
Really
also,
good.
I like the quiet intro with the strings and piano and whatnot, and it's also got a very clean sound.
Yes. Very, very good. I would highly recommend checking those out.
Right.
So yes, after that we do have some fanfic stuff.
Fanfics. All right. Try to get through this kind of quickly. Okay, update. One thing it did update surprisingly. Time Goes On which was complete when I featured it. It's got 3 new chapters and some edits to previous chapters. It's that if way back when it was a Sunlight story, the alternate universe, what if Sunset didn't leave? and wound up being a student with Twilight. It just had some new chapters where it's just more about their more about the past, stuff, some more shenanigans in Canterlot, and I guess more cleanly shows them getting closer together as friends and whatnot, versus kind of the jumps we had in the original version.
I think that was one of my complaints too.
Kind of addresses that, more or less, your complaint there. And that's the update. Featured, though, which this is just kind of weird timing, The Kind Regard of Quiet Things by Novel Idea, which is also Sunlight. That's just timing.
Well, that's not really timing. Half the stuff you feater is Sunlight,
Not
so...
half of it. I looked, it's not half. It's not half.
What is it, like 49%?
No. Anyway, yes, it's, Twilight has to deal with nightmares that are not her own, unfortunately, and Sunset's there to try to help her out. That's more or less it.
Yeah.
In a nutshell. It's about 3,000 words.
Yeah, it's a short one.
Yeah. So,
it's a bit emotional.
So Sunlight's not the primary focus, but it is important to it.
Yeah, it explains why they... Yeah.
Yeah. There's also a little bits like here and there. We get little bits and pieces of their past, kind of their past, but not a whole lot. So it kind of gives us a little bit of fill in the blank type thing. So I like it for that.
It was alright.
I just liked it just because of the more, I guess, reserved nature of it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not often that you see stuff like that. So
also, it was nice because it's Princess Twilight and Sunset.
Yes, it was.
That's
it
getting kind of rare lately.
Because everyone's Sci-Twilight.
So, it's been getting kind of rare lately. So I'm glad that Novel Idea is still doing that. Woo! Yeah, I'd go check it out.
It's not the first Novel Idea one we've featured, is it?
Well, the last one was that big compilation one, so
yeah,
more than one author. Anyway, that's that.
Yep, that's that. So, it's the end of fan content. That's the end of the episode.
So get through this next stuff fast.
Woohoo! Let's do this. Okay, if you liked what you heard, you can hear all of our episodes past, future, present at pony411.libsyn.com. Remember, that's LIBSYN. If I'm talking to you fast, just open up in VLC and play it at half speed. Anyway, we are also on iTunes. Just search for Pony411. Go give us stars. Go auto-subscribe to us so it auto-downloads, all that good stuff. Anyway, Stitcher.com or the mobile apps. Just search for us, Pony411. Find us there. We are also on YouTube, youtube.com/pony411. You go like our pages and comment on the videos if you want. Go subscribe to us, and yeah.
We just put a review up too.
Yes, we also do reviews. We just put another one up.
Sunset Sushi. Woo!
Got that one finally. So go check those out as well. You can also find us on Ponyville Live. Whenever we update the YouTube one, the Ponyville Live page will also update. You can find us along with a whole bunch of other shows and stuff there as well. We're also on Google Play, play.google.com/music. Go there, search for Pony411. You will find us. You can have it auto-download there. We also air Ponyville FM every Tuesday, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, so tune in then to hear us then. Or tune in earlier or later or whenever during the week to hear some awesome music. We have live DJs there fairly often, so go check that out. If you would like to get a hold of us, you can email us. We are pony411podcast@gmail.com, so send us comments, criticisms, suggestions. If you want us to take a look and talk about something, send it to us. We will take a look. Can't guarantee, but we will take a look at least. We're also on Facebook. Go like our page there. We'll post updates when they happen.
Facebook.com/pony411.
Yes. Just put a Pony411 at the end of something, you might find us. I don't know. We're also on Twitter @Pony411. Best way for quick communication, just go follow us there, tweet us, we'll tweet whatever. Yeah, It's Twitter. We hope you know how to use Twitter. Yes. You can also find us on our personal Twitter accounts. I am at Alca7raz with a 7 instead of a T and an underscore at the end, and he is at Nemesis Prime 1.
Yes.
So go follow us, see us tweet about anime crap.
Or in my case, more toy reviews.
Yes. We hope you liked what you heard, and hope you tune in next week when we go do our standard end of season
overview, all that stuff.
Yes. But until then, remember, please, pony responsibly.
Goodbye.
See ya.